just waking up and ready to enjoy a nice cup of coffee. At some point today, I will need to shower and I'll need to wash my hair. I was too tired after I came home from work last night. I'm like, I am not doing what do ladies call it? Like the full shower thing. I'm too tired. Not doing I'm just doing what needs to get done. So, cheers. But today I have off. I'm super tired. I worked the last 2 days. We had a very busy weekend. I worked 2 days before that. Yesterday wasn't as busy, but Monday was like slammed all day. Which sometimes I prefer that because it makes the day go by faster. You don't get caught up in some of the dramas or whatever. But which I've been thinking lately, like, oh, I miss night shift. And then I have a slow shift, and I'm like, no, I don't. Not really. I miss it once in a blue moon, but not really. I'm definitely more day shift person, I think. Actually, the older you get, the less you have patience for nonsense. So, welcome into my messy kitchen. I'm going to be doing the dishes, enjoying my coffee, and talking to you lovely people. So, good morning to you. And by you, I mean the one or two people in here, which is fine. I love a small audience, I think, better than a big one, but that's just me. I think my husband went to work early. I don't even know, but I'm on my own today. I don't have my daughter. I think my husband already left. I don't know if he had to go into work early or what. I'm just opening up my blinds. All I know is I don't care to be on the internet today, except especially not TikTok, because it's the level of negativity and everything that's been going on lately is out of control, in my opinion. And I am such a sensitive person, and I realize a lot of people aren't built the same way I am and aren't sensitive. Well, sensitive in that I care deeply about like other people sometimes too much. So like the negativity is just dragging me down, and I just can't. Just can't get sucked up in it. And like I feel like the more I'm trying to figure out what's happened, the more confused I get, and I feel I'm just over. You go down a rabbit hole and you're like, what good did that do me? What good? Like, now I'm even more confused. I'm learning about these weird groups online. I don't care to learn about them. I think they're mostly people who need to get help, and Godspeed to that. Hello. But I don't need their negativity and whatever. Enough drama in my own life trying to be a good person, so good luck. So, and I get it. I have sympathy to a point, but not to people that are just like F everybody. Like, I've been in dark places of my life. That doesn't mean you take it out on other people. That doesn't mean that. Hello, Tiger Boy. I've been in super dark places, like places most people probably don't go. I've been there. This is an open page, sure, as long as they're not disrespectful, mean. Anybody's welcome to my page. Much like Charlie Kirk would have done. Anybody can come to my page. Unless you're violent, mean, abusive, you're gonna get blocked. You're gonna get blocked. No tolerance for that, especially today. sure. So sick of it. Every time you think the news can't get any worse, then it's getting worse. And like, what isn't even that upsetting to me, not necessarily, it's all upsetting, but what's the worst part is I feel like the apathy, people's reactions to it. That's what's really, and the meanness and cruelness, that's what's, press this with your, well, you don't need to stay then, Kelly, do you? Like, that's what I do. I complain and rant, especially when I'm first waking up. I'm not like, hello, sunshine world. Usually, especially lately. And if you can't handle that, then I'm sorry, this ain't the page for you. This is a free speech area where I can voice my opinion. So, sorry. You should frame. And it is really dark, okay? That's the reality of what is going on right now. And I apologize if I'm bringing people down, but I'm not somebody to keep quiet. Never have been. Which is why I like having a YouTube page, because I can talk all I want. Thank you. I should, Kelly. That was actually laminated by my daughter daycare. I gave them the picture and then they laminated it, which was really nice of them. Now I just need to frame it. Hello, Luca. I just needed to get that off my chest. I'm sure there are other people who feel like me. Because I've seen a few. But it's upsetting to me to realize how many people just are not, I guess, so sympathetic or whatever. But everybody's built different and everybody's... I think I'm sensitive to it too, because I've had a lot of grief lately. So seeing the way people are reacting to somebody that is in like the depths of grief is just, and they're like, well, she is off. Well, there's no manuscript when that happens to you, first of all, like what you're supposed to say, how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to feel. Like, I don't know if these people haven't experienced grief or what is going on? What is going on with the world? But, and yes, it was, I can get it to a point, but not to the point of the meanness. Saying, well, I wouldn't have reacted that way. Okay, well, sure, maybe not, but that's how they reacted, and I have little kids, so I feel for her. I just don't understand where the lack of empathy is from women, especially who have little kids, seeing what she's going through. Like, but this happens a lot where I'm getting upset and everybody's like, just, you're thinking too much about it. Maybe I just cared too much and I'm too sensitive for this world, but that's the way God made me, so... I don't think having a big heart is necessarily a negative thing. except for when you get dragged down by all the negativity, and yeah, can't stay there. Can't. So today I am super overwhelmed because I have to clean like the whole house. My husband was out all day yesterday, so, and we haven't been home. Like, we were gone all weekend. The cousin, I wanted to get all the cousins together, which we did, but it's, I don't know why it's so hard to get family together sometimes, but I did it, but now I am just super exhausted, and the kids were just crazy, like having 3 kids under 5 together that are cousins and I think all have ADHD, probably, whatever. It was insane. And the one is going through the terrible twos right now. So he was hitting everybody. He was like, I don't know why they had a lot of glasses, and he kept picking it up, dropping it. I was afraid it was going to shatter. It was just chaos. And then they also have a big giant dog, and she was like trying to break through her kennel, and I don't know. And we went to his birthday party, which that was fun, but again, total chaos. But I do miss having a little one that is like, I hate saying it because we're through the terrible twos, but I miss having a little one in that age. They're still so cute. I feel like I missed some of that with Daisy because I was in school and we were moving cross country. There was a lot going on then. So, hello, new people coming in. This weekend was full on mayhem, but I loved it. And then the 2-year-old Owen, he would start hitting my daughter Daisy, and then Calvin would hit him, and then Daisy would start screaming. It was just like I used to think it was so chaotic when I would get Daisy and Calvin, my daughter and her cousin, together. Oh my gosh, just multiply that now that Owen's in the picture and is going through the terrible twos, and oh my goodness. But they're so stinking cute at that age. They really are. He has like the chunky legs. He still has a little bit of the baby fat still. So I gotta clean, I gotta ship something out. I have a doctor's appointment. I have to make like a bunch of phone calls. We're trying to get our mortgage rate lowered. Been trying to, but we bought a new build and they changed our address after the fact. Like, we had one address for 6 months and then they changed it to a different town. And I think it was like the post office's decision or something. It wasn't the builder's decision. It was either the township or post office something. And it has caused so much problems. We've been in this house now like 2.5 years, and I'm still dealing with issues from it. So the mortgage company doesn't want to lower our rate because they said our address on the county page doesn't line up. Some red tape bullshit. Yeah. So I gotta call the county or something, which I think dealt with this before, and I called the county, and they were like, we can't do it because, like, it's like this loop. But I'm gonna make phone calls today and see. Because, like most Americans, my mortgage rate is too high. But that's what we had to do to get a house. It was very hard to find a house. It still is, but it was very hard when we were looking. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, and we're back in action. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy day. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody left. Well, that's fine. That's fine. And to people who tell me, stop talking about whatever, you're depressed. Like, I'm an adult, I'm going to talk about whatever. And I've had a lot of dark stuff happen to me, like a lot of people. And the more we talk about, the less taboo it is. And it can help other people. So I'm sorry, Kelly, but this might not be the page for you. And I've had people come in and tell me the same thing. Don't talk about grief. Okay, if you can't, nobody's forcing you to stay here. And I don't always talk about dark stuff, but I do. It's part of the human experience, especially if you live long enough, is grief. So if that's not something you like, then I'm not your cup of tea. I'm sorry. I'm about as real pretty much as I can get. So, which is why some people like me and some people don't care for me. That's fine. So one of my husband's friends made us this like home liqueur or whatever, and we like never drank it. It'd been sitting in our like cabinet, whatever, for like a couple years. And I'm like, babe, we should maybe drink that. Like my husband had nothing to drink. So I'm like, why don't you drink that thing that's been sitting in there? And then my husband like couldn't find the bottle opener. I was like trying to relax. Anyways, it was chaos. And then finally I had to get up. I'm like, let me help you, because he's like a typical guy, can't find whatever. So I find it for him in 2 seconds. I'm like, here it is. And then he goes to open it, and he ripped half of the cork off, and half of it went into the drink, the bottle. And I'm like, seriously? We drank it anyway. We drank some of it anyway, though, because we're like, like a little wood ain't gonna kill nobody. But like, yeah, what are you supposed to do? Has anybody ever had that where you're trying to pull off a cork? Probably because we had it so long. Like, I don't know if the cork softened or whatever. Well, what are you supposed to do if you half rip off? I need to Google it. We were just like, screw it, and just did it anyway. So I was like, at this point, I did a lot of cooking work, so the kitchen is kind of a mess. Because it's soup season, so I made cheeseburger soup. It was so good. The recipe that I got online was good, but I feel like a lot of recipes online, like the ingredients are good and everything, but the way the instructions are written are like horrible, especially if you have ADHD like me. I like when we did like HelloFresh, or we did one of those, and they had like pictures, and the instructions were very like, very, very short and very like concise. But anyways, so I made it, and it like took too long because of the way but it turned out great. But I will be making it like a little bit different than what the instruction says next time, as far as the cooking process, not the ingredients were good. But yeah, I made that for the first time. And I made Amish chicken, like corn soup. It's so good. Both were very good. Very good and good for like warm weather. I mean, not warm weather. Cold weather. You could probably make either of them in the crock pot. The one I made in the crock pot, the other one I didn't have as much time, so I made it on the stove top. All right, let's start doing the dishes. This is such a weird angle, guys. Hello, hi Mark. Enjoying my coffee. I might need an energy drink today. I got this the other day because I saw a coworker with that and I'm like, oh, cherry flavored, that sounds good. We'll see. Alani are like my favorite energy drinks. I did try, I got at Big Lots like the dollar Dole. Or they had 4 for $1 Dole energy drinks with only 80 milligrams of caffeine. They were okay, but not nearly as strong as like Alani. Oh yeah. I have a load of laundry going. I have a ton of laundry to do. I'm gonna go grab a different sponge because I feel like this is old. I gotta go to the basement. I'll be right back. Yeah. Like when I was younger, I don't remember ever using these to do dishes. Like we always just use like a dish rag. But I feel like if you're an adult and you're not doing dishes with one of these or something similar, what are you doing? I feel like these make your life so much easier. That and like baby wipes. Should have grabbed that when I went in the basement, but anyway. Like baby wipes for cleaning. We never had baby wipes growing up, but like so much easier to clean stuff than using like a dish rag that's like, ooh. Do you know what I'm saying? Neurodivergent people. And I do use a dish rag still, but like I think I've been traumatized from all the like dish rag use when I was a kid or something. I gotta work this weekend, but I've got off the next 3 days, so trying to optimize that, get the house clean finally. Normally I keep my daughter home if I have off, but I'm like, I have too much to get done. And no offense, but toddlers, when you're cleaning, they just make like they make it like 100 times harder. Which is fine, but I have a doctor appointment I have to go to. I'm gonna see if I can get my hair appointment scheduled. I got a lot of phone calls to make, so it's hard to do while I'm watching her. There's a lot going on. I needed a day. Get myself organized here. I'm gonna get my A1C. I'm gonna ask for that to be checked. Because I'm pre-diabetic and I want to make sure I'm not diabetic at this point. And if I am, what I need to get on medicine type of thing. So we'll see. I've been able to stave it off thus far, so hopefully I'm not sure if it's one. That's right. Gosh. I'm glad I'm not working today. It's going to be super busy at my job. Like sometimes Wednesdays are just as busy as, if not busier than Mondays, because we have more surgeries a lot of times on Wednesdays. But and they are giving bonus right now, but I'm like, I have too much to get done. I'm too tired. I should pick up a little more than what I've been doing, but not like crazy a lot, but I used to pick up a little more. I think I'm gonna maybe start doing that again, like picking up just little 4-hour shifts like every other week, just to get more money. I don't know, because I kind of stopped picking up because I started making a little more. Like the longer I'm there, the more I make. So I'm like, do I need to? But I don't know. I feel like who doesn't need more money? I don't know. We'll see. But the more I pick up, the less I have time to do stuff like this. But I'm not making money yet off this. So, and the less time I have to do reselling. But anyway, I've just been upset by, like, I'm starting to see now, like, people's I think just the whole thing that happened with Charlie has divided people and is such a big thing that happened that I'm seeing, now I'm starting to finally see some people, like, even that are close to me, like, are, like, accusing him of things that I don't necessarily agree with, and I'm like, wow, so it isn't just random people on the internet. Like some people really didn't like him, and then that even I know, and then I've seen, like, I recently started watching Vanilla Mace. I don't know if you guys know about her, but I really like her content, but she came out with, like, well, you know, what about the kids in Gaza? Or what about, and I'm like, yeah, what about that? We can be upset by multiple things. That doesn't diminish what happened as being absolutely horrific and unacceptable. Like, newsflash, you can be upset about multiple things, especially if you're like me. It doesn't take much to get me upset about a lot of the craziness. Like, it doesn't diminish how awful that said thing was. You know what I mean? Like, each I'm upset by what's going on in schools. You think I'm not upset by that? My daughter's going to be going to school soon. Like, I've considered homeschooling. That's how bad the violence in America has gotten. Like, a lot of people are turning to homeschooling. That's how terrible the safety and security is right now. I never thought I'd say that. As somebody who was always like, me and my husband talked about this. We're like, people who got homeschooled were always a little weird. Like, I don't want my daughter to be socially awkward, but like the way the world is going, like, I don't know. But again, I can't really afford to stay home and I would take that like a job. And like most people, we need a dual income to afford our mortgage, to afford our groceries, blah 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 blah. So it's not really an option, but I've literally considered it because how bad things are. And have been for years. And I just hate this attitude of like, let's just accept things the way they are because we have multiple problems going on. Like, yes, we do. That's why we have a government. They're supposed to be coming up with solutions. They're supposed to be doing something. Will they always do the right thing? No. But I can tell you doing nothing is definitely not the answer. But they're just so much fighting. I don't even know that we're going to get anywhere again. Really sad. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. I don't know what else to say. Like, how bad does it have to get? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty bad right now. Hello? Pretty bad I'm talking about the level of violence and the normalcy of it all is crazy. Crazy. Hello, Naveen. But I see some things happening. I do. I see a lot of changes just in healthcare. But healthcare moves a lot faster than government. I feel like healthcare moves a lot faster than most industries. It moves like lightning speed or something compared to some. In a lot of ways, like in the technology and not everything, but in the medicines coming out, all this. But I do see some changes, at least where I work, that quite frankly I'm glad. Because if the government ain't gonna do something, somebody needs to step up. Like, I'm sorry, but the way things are going, I don't think the government's gonna do crap because that's why we need to start making actions ourselves. And what do I mean by making actions? Coming up with plans for safety because they're moving way too slow with all of it, in my opinion. I'm from Pennsylvania, Naveen. They're moving way too slow and we're fed up. Like, I could say that collectively. I think we're all kind of fed up at this point. That's why I've been seeing also just at churches I go to, they're starting to take action. They're doing, if the government isn't going to step in and do what they're supposed to do, which is protect us, then we got to protect ourselves. I'm cleaning. I'm doing the dishes. It's not that I don't think they're trying, but I feel like the government, they're just arguing so much. They can't get done anything. Like anything. Cleaning and venting, you know, the usual. The usual. Spending time with you lovely people. They're probably not as awake as I am. I'm not even awake. I'm still waking up. But my ADHD brain goes a million miles a minute the second I wake up. Just finished doing that. Took a shower. Ah! Is it kind of comforting? Like, I've heard some people go, well, you're boring. Okay. But isn't it kind of comforting just watching somebody like clean? Like, as much as I complain about cleaning and like, it's more just the time commitment. But as much as I complain about it, I actually like, there's something so therapeutic about cleaning or just watching somebody clean. For my OCD tendencies, there's just something that like calms me down about cleaning and organizing and the whole bit. And like putting things in their places. Like, why is that? I don't know, but it's like a real thing. I remember like, I saw some video like, why do people watch people cleaning? Or like, why do people like watching people eating? Because it's comforting. Because it is. It just is. Like, he's saying, yeah, a lot of times I'll listen to like like today's hit music or like fast-paced music. I can't do that when I'm on YouTube because copyright issues. I used to be able to do that when I had TikTok, but then I got banned from TikTok. I think because of that reason, because Alexa was playing. I got banned from TikTok for 5 years because Alexa was playing like inappropriate rap music that I did not even select. She selected it. Now I know she's not really a she, it's a robot, but I'm just saying. And there's no way to like appeal, like I've tried appealing it, they never respond to the appeals. And then now they're saying like, I'm not of age, which clearly I am. Look at my dark circles and whatever. Like, I'm clearly almost 40 years old. In fact, I turned 39 this week. Which I feel like a little midlife crisis-ish about it. Because I've had so much happen in 40 years. I feel like I'm 50, but I'm going to be 40. Yes, I'm turning 39 this week. I think I look a little younger than I am, which doesn't make sense because I've been through so much in my life. I feel 50, but I look like 35, I feel like. Hello. I feel 50 because I've had so many people pass away. I've had 5 pregnancies. I've just been through a lot. I've lived different places. I don't know. I've had different careers. I feel 50. Life experience wise, I feel like I'm more like a 50. And body wise and how I look, well, sometimes I feel a little older. It depends. Just on how tired I am, but I think that's from having a toddler and a lot going on. Like somebody once, the great Jenna Jameson once said, like I've lived enough to be like 70, although I'm 30 something. I guess I did read her book. And I'm like, I agree with that. I totally get it, coming from a trauma background and stuff. Oh, thank you. Hi T, what's up? I'm just ranting and raving about what's going on in America right now. The level of divisiveness, the level of violence, all of it. The level of our government not doing anything, which I feel like maybe you can relate to that, T. I feel like that's a common denominator with government, is gridlock. But, and then I learned something new on TikTok, is that there's all these weird groups. Like, the further I look into it, the more I'm like, I need to get off the internet. That's what I need to do. That's what many, except my YouTube. You can stay on my YouTube, but I feel like all of us just need to step away for a minute because it's just too much. How are you, T? I am enjoying my day off. I worked the last 2 days. I've got so much to catch up on. But that's okay. That's okay because my daughter got to see her cousins. And it's truly hard to get together with family the older you get. And it's so important. And I try to continue that tradition with her, is like getting together with family. Usually the only time we get to do that a lot of times is in the summer. So, but we went to his birthday party, so, and then I just slept over her house. But she deals with, I feel bad for my sister because she deals with this neighbor that's, I'm calling her out on the internet, I don't care, but you guys don't know who she is. But she's one of those people who hates children. Like, I get if you don't want kids, but don't hate on people who do have kids. Like, leave them alone. And I guess she's always complaining about noise. Like, don't have a first floor apartment then. Don't have a first floor apartment. If you can't stand noise, then you shouldn't have a first floor, because everybody sounds like elephants upstairs when you have a first floor apartment. Yeah, she hates kids. She's done stuff to like harass my sister. She threatens to call the police. Call the police. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? You have kids. Yes, they're running around sometimes. Like, newsflash, that's what children do. Like, leave her alone. So the kids can't ever play because of this horrible witch that lives downstairs. I'm sorry. The view is good. Aw. Apparently, in her eyes, it is. Because she took a little kid's ball that went in her yard. There was a little kid, and she took it and threw it in the trash right in front of him. Like, what is wrong with you? You're a sociopath. Who does that? I don't understand the grumpiness. Maybe I'm not that old, but like, leave children alone. And leave parents alone who have little kids. They have it hard enough. Like, do people forget what it's like to have kids? Apparently she had a kid, but she's like, I don't know. I think she might be on the spectrum. Who knows? Doesn't excuse it, though. And again, if you don't like having noise, that's not my sister's fault. Don't have a first floor apartment if you can't stand noise. Because it doesn't matter whether you have kids or not. I've lived on the second floor where there was a third store apartment. And there was a lot of noise sometimes just from, they didn't even have kids. It's just from walking around. The way some apartments are built, you can hear all the noise or whatever. And it's like amplified down below. But then I've also lived at I lived at a townhouse where I couldn't hear my neighbor at all. So it depends how they build it or whatever. It's not her fault. But could you imagine having little kids and you got somebody threatening to call the police on you all the time for just them walking around or whatever? And occasionally running around. Like they try to be as quiet as possible, but the kid is 2. She's a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Like, they make noise. She really is. She really is a boomer Karen. I was like so mad. I'm like, I'm gonna throw a rock at her window. I was getting like so mad about it. But my sister didn't want me to, but I'm like, there's gonna, if I lived near somebody like that, there would be, because I've had a couple issues with neighbors here, not from my end, but from their end. One luckily moved away. She was so bad. She called the police and they told her she was the disturbance, because she is. But anyways, she moved away, thank goodness. Then there's another neighbor that I live nearby that is super grumpy. But at least she doesn't live right next door to me, thank gosh. But she will scream, she will go livid. Like, if you take one step too close to her property, like, I don't know. Some people are just so, but yet again, like, you choose to live in an area where there's new development, there's apartments behind you, like, people are going to be walking by. You got to get over it. Like, if you don't like that, then buy a property that's in the middle of nowhere, somewhere far away. Like, people are going to live whether you like it or not. Like, that's not everybody else's problem. That's a you problem. Now, I'm not saying people should be going on her property and this and that, but like the way she comes at people, and it's like, relax, lady. Like, we don't know. And I'm not saying be disrespectful or this or that, but like a lot of people she's attacked, like screaming and this and that, and like crazily and throwing all kinds of profanities. Like, a lot of us didn't know because the house that they bought, it looks like it was a schoolhouse. It looks like a public property. And they told us we were going to have a common area. So a lot of people think part of the yard where it has like a tennis court and this and that, a lot of people get confused and think that's like part of the new development, which it isn't. But like, okay, then you need to put up bigger signs or whatever. Don't be freaking out at people. Like, you can educate people without being a Karen. You can. And if multiple people are having the same issues, like, maybe it's a you problem and not everybody else. I'm sorry. Just saying. And like, what a way to welcome people to the neighborhood, by screaming your head off. And like, I don't know. Some people are just crazy. That's the bottom line. Some people are just crazy. You're not going to change them. And I hope that eventually my sister can move out, because I feel like that lady's never going to move. She's always going to complain. But with the way things are going right now, it's very hard to do that. But I got lucky. We lived in a apartment or a townhouse before here, and we had super nice neighbors. And we had one of our neighbors, she's a nurse, but like an older nurse, and she used to buy stuff for Daisy. We lived in a kid-friendly type of neighborhood, but where my sister lives, it is kid-friendly too. Like, why would you move somewhere like that if you hate children? Like, where there's playgrounds and a lot of young couples. Like, move to a senior community. Like, if you don't like that. I know, that's what I told her. I'm like, let her call the police. What is she gonna do? Like, the police are gonna be like, that's a you problem. That's, they probably got kids and get it too. Like, the police don't got time for that crap. Like, seriously, you're wasting resources. Honestly, the police are probably familiar with her and are probably like, this crazy again. You know what I mean? They're probably, she probably calls all the time about stupid stuff. Like, go ahead, Karen. They're probably used to it and are probably going to be like, I'm not even coming out. No, but they'll probably come out, but they'll be like, what is it? What is it this time? Do you know what I mean? She's that type of person and probably waste resources about like, oh, this person didn't take out their recycling or something, you know, some crap like that. Too much time on their hands. But I guess she complained after I left about the noise. Yeah, there's 3 little ones. They never get to see each other. It's been like a year since they saw each other. They're gonna play. Like, get over it. Oh my God. She's lucky she has my sister's husband to deal with and not my husband. Because my husband hates... One thing about my husband is he doesn't back down to bullies or whatever. I'm not saying Chris does either, but my husband can get riled up easier sometimes with certain things. Yeah, she probably does, Humblebee. Probably needs to get a life. Get out more. Like, I don't know. Get outside once in a while. It wasn't like they're throwing, she acts like they're throwing like rager parties and up at all hours of the night. Like, no, they're not. They're not doing anything like that. Leave them alone. They're just raising little kids. And guess what? Little kids make noise. So I've got a lot. I gotta clean the house, which I've started. I've done the dishes. But I have to sweep, mop, all that fun cleaning crap. Laundry, all that. Clean the litter boxes, blah, blah, blah. All the chores. And then I have to go to the doctor later. I need to make a bunch of phone calls. Nothing like too exciting. And I make a bunch of phone calls. I gotta ship stuff out that I sold online. I'm just trying to get organized today and like get back on track since I haven't been home. I think I can get done stuff if I just stay focused and have caffeine. I recently tried Wellbutrin. What's the biggest? Stop it. No, we're not doing that. Okay, if you got some weird kink, get out of here. I don't, if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, get out. Now, I understand people have their whatever, but that to me is one thing I do not, you know what? We're blocking you because I don't stand for violence, and I don't stand, that is one thing that I think is, I don't understand. We're not even going there. Just get out of my page. I don't stand for stuff like that. I don't know what page you think you're on. Get out. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't care. You're not going to say stuff like that in my page. I'm a very sensitive person, and I think it's very cruel to do anything to bugs or animals, and I won't stand for that. Get out. Disgusting. And I understand we're all humans, we all have our whatever, but I don't with that. There's certain things, and I'll tell you right off, you start doing stuff like that, I will. There's certain things, I'm not an angry person, but there's certain things I don't stand for, like bullying, violence, hurting defenseless things like bugs or animals. You mess with the wrong person coming on my page saying stuff like that. I don't stand, I mean, common decency. I don't stand for racism, that, whatever. Keep that to yourself and stay off my page. Now, a lot of people come in here thinking, whatever. This ain't an OF page, first off. And number two, I don't do requests on demand for whatever your weird kink is. Like, go somewhere else. This ain't that type of page. Especially something like that. Get the heck out of here. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. Hey, Evan. But it's not Evan. You're, from what I remember, because I thought, oh, this is a male, but it's a female. But I forget your name. But that's what I remember was, because I remember that title and being like, oh, that's a female. It really is. Like, and you've come to the wrong page if you think, like, I am a very opinionated, strong female. Like, get out. And I don't stand for certain things. I do not tolerate, like, I am the wrong person to mess with if you think you can hurt something defenseless. Like, I am very strong in my opinions on that, whether that's old people, animals, bugs, whatever. Like, no. I protect those things, actually. Even on a... Well, I wouldn't... Yeah, so, no. Moving on. Yeah, I mean, it is the internet. I get it to a degree. Like, people come in here with, and I'm like a small-time creator, so people think whatever. But, there's certain boundaries, and I don't think people realize that I'm like 40 also. And, like, you can't mess with me. Like, I'm not 20 years old anymore, and blah, blah, blah. Not that I would have stood for that anyway, even when I was younger, but just saying, like... Thank you. I badly need to wash my hair and put on makeup, but thank you. I remember that because Okay, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. If problem out of face. Okay. All right, well then. Okay, well, never mind. You sound more like a troll anyway, so. It's almost gone. I'm probably gonna have to start on my energy drink. And I don't endorse energy drinks whatsoever, but I'm just saying I am so tired and I have so much to get done. I might do. I'm debating. Oh, what'd you have? Yeah, I think I'm thinking about somebody else. I don't really care. I don't really care what people have to say about me. But I will block you at a certain point. But when you come in here trying to talk about harming animals or harming bugs, you've messed with the wrong person, or whatever, harming whatever that's defenseless. Get all the way out. Get all the way out. Anyway, okay, so let's start the dishes here. I don't even know what we were talking about. Like, I don't know. But before I was rudely interrupted. I said it earlier and I'll say it again. You can be upset by multiple things. And one thing that's wrong doesn't mean something else isn't wrong either. And I've donated, actually. What have you done? Like... And I'm not saying whatever, but don't come in here acting like I don't care about other atrocities. Do you know me? Do you know? I'm a very sensitive person and I get upset by all of it. Thank you. I don't know. People just... I get that people are... There's like a collective outrage about atrocities going on. I get that. But I can be upset by, like, a couple things going on. I'm a very complex person. Okay, goodbye. You can just sit and watch, Evan Almighty. How mighty are you? Because you're gone now. Bye. Yes, it is. Like, you're comparing two totally different things, first of all. And just because I'm not nonstop talking about one thing doesn't mean I'm not aware of what's going on and I'm not upset. Well, I'm trying to educate you, XF. I know you don't know about me, obviously, because you're saying that I'm not upset by upsetting things. So clearly you don't know me. I'm just educating. That's all I'm doing. Just whatever. Wow, a lot of... Anyway. So, seriously, if you don't like what I have to say, you don't gotta stay here. Like, I don't know. I'm just talking about my life. Oh, thank you. You too, Jess. Is it Joycey? And I've already talked about the horrors going on in the world for a half hour already today. Like, I think I've talked about the collective anger and outrage that's going on right now with our world. I think I've done enough. Like, I don't need to just talk about that. I can also talk about good and happy things, right? Because life's not just meant to be angry and mad, especially when we only can control so much. Something I've learned over the years, like, you can only control yourself and so much going on in the world. I am just a very small human being. small but mighty, and I can only get so upset by so much. The weather is, it looks nice. It looks nice. Thanks for asking. Yes. I love this type of weather. This is, in Pennsylvania, the best time of year. Although somebody yesterday was like, I hate the weather right now, but I love this type of weather. It's like not rainy. It's like crisp out. It's a crisp fall morning. Like, I don't know. And I like fall and spring weather in Pennsylvania. It's beautiful. It's like not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. Where are you at, Humblebee? Yeah. I like it because, and I understand we need rain for our crops or whatever. Sometimes it's nice to have a rainy day to just like stay indoors. But Pennsylvania rains so much that you really have to take advantage of a nice day like this today. You are? Oh my gosh. I thought you were from the US. I had no idea. That's so awesome. See, I love that I get to talk to people from all over the world on here. And I'm very bad with geography, but from my understanding, isn't that kind, so don't get offended, but isn't that kind of like an island? I've heard of it. I don't know much about Papua New Guinea, but I've definitely heard of it. Where's the eggs and bacon? Well, I'm not like a huge breakfast person. Like, I do love a good breakfast at a diner or whatever, but a lot of times I'm not hungry when I first wake up. I think because I eat late at night because I get home late, or I'm just busy running around all day. There's a lot of it, and I'm a small-time creator, so I'm gonna get a lot of, and I just gotta keep moving past it. And one thing about me is I'm very resilient type of person, and I also don't really care what a lot of people have to say, like if they're being bullied. I've been bullied all my life, so I'm just gonna keep doing me, and I don't think people get that. That's okay. They don't have to. The people who get it matter, and those who don't, whatever, don't matter. Whatever that saying is. I'm terrible at saying, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I used to let bullying get to me to a degree. Now that I'm older, I'm like, don't care. Don't care. Yeah, and I do. I mean, to a point though, like I will block people, like you saw me blocking. I don't stand for people that are just gonna keep attacking or whatever. Like, you get a chance, and then if you're still rude, nope, goodbye. It's an island. What? Now I'm gonna have to Google where, like, what it's near. Like, what country? Is everything expensive there because it's an island? Like, you know how, well, I know with Hawaii and like Alaska, everything has to be like imported in, so everything's expensive. But I think everything's expensive nowadays anyway, but I can just imagine. Anyways. Oh, I've been on here over an hour. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh my gosh. That's kind of crazy, but maybe we need, no, I would not advocate for violence, but yeah, I think people here are just used to, it's free speech, so people, for good or bad, like people just whatever. But would these people live on the internet? Like that guy who killed Charlie Kirk? Would they do this in person? No, they wouldn't. They would never, they can't even have a conversation with somebody like Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, because they're cowards. They live on the internet. They're miserable. And I get it to a degree because I've been miserable in my life before too. But like, get help. Get help. And stop taking it out on other people. A lot of Really? That's awesome. Everything is bloody expensive. Okay, well, I gotta get off. I've been on here for over an hour, believe it or not. I gotta go make phone calls and everything. But thank you for joining me. Hello, Solval. I don't even know what you're talking about, Yam, but you sound like real intelligent over there. If you're trying to be rude like that. Anyways, the vibes are just off today. Like what is going on? The vibes are off, except for Humblebee and a few other people. Get rid of Yam. Oh. All right, well, I'm going to get off here, but what are you talking about? You are just a clapper. Like, what are you even? Okay. Anyways, thanks for joining me, those who aren't crazy and weird, and thank you. And please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful hump day. See you guys. Thank you. You too, Humblebee. Hi, Ryan. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy that fall weather. Or not, like that person that's like, I hate fall weather. But I love it. So...